Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and Restless official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. At Crimson Lights, Sharon and Summer had been discussing Chance when he arrived, and he asked if they'd been talking about him. Summer left. Sharon admitted they had been talking about how handsome and charming he was, but they'd gone quiet because they hadn't wanted to feed his enormous ego. Sharon and Chance kissed. On the patio, Sharon told Chance her business was coming along masterfully, and the launch was set for the following week. Sharon asked if he still intended to work at Chancellor Winter's. He said Jill was eager for him to start, and he'd had a couple of meetings with her about his start date. He said they'd discussed having Billy as his mentor, but Chance didn't think that was the best idea. Sharon said Billy had had a lot of experience in the corporate world, and he'd worked in the C-suites of the most prestigious corporations in town. Chance said he didn't want Billy's brand of business influencing his approach to things. He said he'd heard that Billy wasn't the person he should be taking advice from. Sharon asked Chance if he would be interested if Summer asked him out. She said she'd noticed how happy Summer had been after going to the concert with him. She said Summer had enjoyed it so much that she hadn't been able to stop talking about it. Sharon said it had been more than the music Summer had enjoyed. Chance told Sharon they'd seen one of Summer's favorite bands. Sharon asked why Summer lit up whenever Chance walked into the room. She said she believed Summer had feelings for him. Chance claimed he and Summer were just friends. Sharon asked again if he would date Summer if he and Sharon weren't dating. Chance said he was dating Sharon, and he liked what they had. Sharon asked what they had. Chance asked if Sharon thought there was something going on between him and Summer. Sharon denied it. Chance asked if Sharon believed he was developing feelings for Summer. Sharon said she couldn't blame him because Summer was beautiful, smart, and a successful woman. Chance said Sharon was, also. He said it felt like Sharon was trying a sneaky way to end things between them. Sharon denied it. Sharon told Chance she adored spending time with him, but she wasn't looking for a serious relationship. She said she liked the way her life was settling down after everything she'd been through in the past few years. Chance told her he was happy with the way things were. She said his last relationship had been cut short, so it would be natural for him to be looking for that one big love, and the last thing she wanted to do was to lead him on or hold him back. Chance said he was exactly where he wanted to be, and they kissed. At the health facility, Claire woke up. Victoria asked how Claire felt, but Claire said she didn't know how to answer that. Claire saw the books, and she asked if Victoria had been reading to her while she'd slept. Victoria said she'd been talking, hoping if Claire heard her voice, it would bring Claire out of any nightmare she might have been having. Claire claimed nothing could stop her nightmares because they were always there. Claire told Victoria she'd dreamed that Nikki and Jordan had been fighting, and Claire had shot Jordan. She said in her dream it had felt like she'd had no choice, because she'd needed to stop Jordan. Victoria suggested that Claire was trying to kill Jordan's hold over Claire's life. Claire asked why she felt so guilty about it. Victoria said it could have been her mind's way of getting beyond the pain and the hurt. She suggested that Claire bring it up at her next therapy session. She asked if Claire was beginning to feel more comfortable there. Claire said she felt more frightened. Victoria assured Claire she had nothing to fear because Jordan would never be back. Claire admitted that Jordan terrified her. She said she didn't feel normal or safe. Victoria replied it was hard to get past the pain when Claire was hurting, but it wouldn't go on forever. Victoria said Claire needed time, rest, and therapy. She assured Claire that she and Cole would be there for Claire. Claire asked Victoria how that was even possible. She said her entire existence had been about getting back at Victoria for what she believed Victoria had done to her. She'd never imagined that her real mom would be sitting there, making sure she was okay. She said that hadn't been part of the plan. She didn't know if she was strong enough to face whatever came next. Victoria stated that Claire had survived so much already, and that strength would get her through to the other side. Claire admitted she hated the therapy sessions because she didn't like talking about Jordan, her childhood, the lake house, or the cabin. She just wanted to erase her entire life. Victoria said she understood that, but Claire couldn't change what had happened. She said Claire had to accept it, and she had to understand it hadn't been her fault. She said Claire could have a normal life by getting stronger and she would find happiness. Claire told Victoria that Jordan had told Claire for her entire life that she didn't deserve to find happiness. Victoria said it was time Claire found some happiness. She said Claire couldn't blame herself for what had happened. She stated that Claire had been emotionally manipulated in the worst possible way. Claire claimed she'd known the difference between right and wrong, like kidnapping, threatening, and attempted murder. Claire told Victoria she'd stood beside Jordan. And she'd followed Jordan's instructions. She said she could have called someone, but she hadn't. She'd willingly gone along with Jordan, and it had been wrong. Victoria said Jordan had raised Claire to rely on and respect her, and she'd groomed Claire to do those things. Victoria said Jordan was in custody, and Victoria hoped Jordan would spend the rest of her miserable life there. Claire asked what would happen if Jordan got out somehow. Victoria told Claire they wouldn't let that happen. Jordan would pay for what she'd done, and she would be kept far from all of them. Claire asked how Victoria could be so supportive of her or even look at her. Victoria said that looking into Claire's eyes wasn't difficult, and supporting her was even easier because she wanted what was best for Claire. She said she saw the courage and the strength inside Claire. Victoria said she would be forever grateful that Claire had saved Nikki's life. She said Claire standing up to Jordan had been a remarkable act of bravery, and Victoria was very proud of Claire. Claire said that at the lake house, she'd seen how everyone had looked at her. She said there had been fear and anger because of what she'd done. Victoria said that wouldn't be easy to forget, but it didn't mean she wasn't being honest with Claire. She said she had faith in Claire and the life they could have. Victoria said it might not seem that way at that moment, but perhaps it was something they could work on together. Claire said the shock for Victoria to realize she had a grown daughter might not have worn off yet, but Victoria would realize that Claire wasn't that sweet innocent baby that had been taken from Victoria. She said Victoria could see who Claire really was, a person who had tortured and tried to kill her. Victoria assured Claire that she and Cole would never look at her that way, but Claire claimed that wasn't a promise Victoria could keep. Victoria asked Claire not to shut them out, because they'd just found her. She asked Claire to give them a chance to get to know her. Claire told Victoria it was too hard, and every time she saw Victoria and Cole, she got a knot in her stomach and braced for when they would hate her again. Claire said Victoria's baby Eve had died the day she'd been taken from the hospital, and Claire was someone who was angry, alone, rejected, and abandoned, and she didn't know how to get past that. Victoria admitted it wouldn't be easy, but Claire had to know she wasn't alone. She said she and Cole would help Claire get through it together, no matter how long it took.